Somebody was like, we got to stop making black people the bad guys. So that's not true. You can make them the bad guys. Just give them the reasons, the heart, and give them as much of a part as you do the others. And so
whatever this costs is worth it.
What is it with your family and secrets?
You're fishing.
Hi, Jarrell. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. It's such a huge pleasure to be here with you. I'm a huge fan of your work, and I think you're amazing in Full Circle. What an intense character. Please walk me through your process of building this character, because it feels like he's about to have a nervous breakdown at any minute. And I completely understand that.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That kid is very angsty and very aggressive. I mean, he's very goal oriented and he wants to get the job done, but he doesn't even know what the job is. And so he also has big shoes to fill. And that comes with so much pressure that he has no idea what to deal with. And if you think about it, out of all the characters, there's a lot of characters that get to lean on each other and get to move with each other for support. But a kid really doesn't have any of that. He either has somebody telling him what to do or somebody telling him that he's crazy or going crazy. And so I think that comes with this I feel so alone energy, and it's me, myself, and I'm the boss of my own world energy. And so I think physically that led me to be very, very animated with the aggression. And I think in the beginning of the season, you see this angry person who's about to pop, but then as the season goes along, you start to peel him almost like an onion and realize there's so much more to him, and there's reasons behind him, what he does. And he really is just a sad, hurt, toxic person,
Oh yeah, and we see that on screen. And the show tackles a lot of very complex issues such as religion and also moral principles. When you were reading the script, what was that thing that made your eyes shine to the point that you said, okay, this has to be my next project?
I think it's just such an intelligent script, not so cookie cutter, and it's not so one level. The more I dug into the script, the more I realized how dense the script was, and there wasn't just one way of doing the script. And so I was so impressed. Plus, when Steve Soderbergh calls you, you pick up the phone and you say yes. And so it all seemed very exciting, and it seemed like a challenge. And I really wanted to play this villainous character who had a little bit of heart and emotion to him.
Life is a series of loyalty tests. You have to make a choice who to follow and who to trust.
I think we got an informer.
And what I love about Full Circle is the fact that this show reaches a very wider range of cultures and traditions. We see Guyana playing here an important character. So this is what I really love, because as a Black and Latina girl, we see different cultures being approached here in the show in a responsible but a very engaging way. Please tell me a little bit about that, because this is the right diversity that I think we need in Hollywood. We don't need diversity for the sake of diversity, right, Jarrell?
100%. You were so right about that. And that's what I really loved about this show. Normally when you see a story, you see the villains of color be these just angry people who are trying to take the white people down and get it all down. But we really focus on the reasonings behind why we do what we do. And it's just so beautiful to not hear about Guyana, but actually go to Guyana and see it, and not hear that it's this Guyanese crime family that's trying to kidnap a kid, but you see the reason, you see the pain. It really starts with them all in a funeral together, crying and weeping. And so I think you're so right. Somebody was like, we got to stop making black people the bad guys. So it's not true. You can make them the bad guys. Just give them the reasons, the heart, and give them as much of a part as you do the others. And so that's a very good point.
Yeah, and I love that, because we need depth in those characters, and that's what I see in Akid. He's a deep character, because at the same time that he seems like a bad guy, he's just trying to prove himself to his aunt right?
Exactly. And he just lost his uncle, and so he's full of pain, he's full of trauma, and he's honestly, yeah, he's trying to make his family proud. He's family oriented, and you can't be mad at somebody who does everything for their family. And so it's like by the end you ask, is Aked a hero or is he a villain? You actually don't know.
Hi, Jean. It's such a huge
Hi.
pleasure to be here with you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm such a huge fan of your work. I've been following you since I was a kid, and I love how versatile your career is, from humor to animation and now to a crime thriller. And Full Circle tells its story through a very unusual angle. What do you think makes this show so different from other crime thrillers that we've seen before?
Yeah, it is definitely different. And I think some of it is that there is a multi-layer to what's going on in this. It is a thriller and it is a crime drama, but there's also, it's a commentary on capitalism. It's a commentary on individual decisions each of the characters have made maybe 20 years ago and how they thought that they were beyond them and the consequences of that decision from 20 years ago. So it's also a big commentary on karma too, right? I mean, things eventually do come around full circle. But I think it also is just it's a character analysis of where it's not just this strange crime. It's kind of the complexity of the relationships, from every relationship from boss to employee is kind of consistently fraught with the reality which exists, that every time we have a boss, it's like it's either a good boss and we're kind of a mess up, or they're a bad boss and they kind of don't know what they're doing. So it's a kind of like a real interesting window into the different relationships of coworkers too.
Yeah, and I love that you mentioned that, because when I was thinking about Manny, we don't see him as this, this very simple character where it's just like black and blue. He's a very complex character, as everyone in this show, and we see that all of them has a fragile point in their lives. And I wanted to tell me about that dynamic of your character, because all of them in some way are flawed, and all of them has kind of like a bad background that connects the past to the present. Tell me about this complexity of your character.
Yeah, I mean, that's what was so fun about reading through and kind of understanding you discover what your character did or what they believe in. And I think that for Manny, there comes a point where he gives this speech to, really, it's an inappropriate speech, but he essentially complains about how whenever he gets in an argument with a woman, he loses. And I think that kind of embodies some of Manny's approach. He's kind of disappointed in how things have gone, but he also has a grasp of his weaknesses, but he's frustrated by that he can't get things to go his way, if that makes sense.
Yes, it makes perfect sense. And we've been talking a lot about diversity in Hollywood, but what I think has been doing wrong is that wrong diversity, because sometimes we see characters from diverse backgrounds that are just there for the sake of diversity. But what I love about Full Circle as a Black girl, as a Latina as well, is the fact that we have diversity in a real way, that we have stories that are related to different cultures, to different realities. We see Guyana here through a different perspective and through an honest perspective. Please tell me a little bit about that, the fact that we need diversity, but not for the sake of diversity, but we need good stories that are related to the origins of those people, those cultures, those realities.
Yes. I mean, first of all, I love I love traveling international. I love international cultures and all this stuff. And I think what also this Full Circle captures is an economic diversity too. It's not only a commentary on, you know, people from Guyana versus people from Manhattan, or how the people have taken advantage of people in Guyana, and which is also a reflection of colonialism, but it's also a glimpse at seeing how that might have been changing. So we see the impact of capitalism, but like the socioeconomic diversity in, you know, and then there's generational diversity, right? Which is a cultural difference between, say, Chef Jeff and Zazi's character, right? And Zazi's relationship, some of the conflict she has with Manny is kind of a generational conflict. So there's a generational diversity, which I think is really important to point out. Like, I love the fact that her sexual preference, which is a piece of diversity, but it is not presented as kind of a hero thing. It's an aspect of her character, right? It's also like he has an adopted kid, but like he's not portrayed as a hero because he adopted a child from China. It's just a reality, and there is this this melting pot of different layers of diversity, whether it be socioeconomic, racially. It's all over there, but it's not done in a stunt. It's done in a representation of what makes these characters interesting.
Yeah, I love what you said. I love it. Thank you so much. It was such a huge pleasure to talk to you, Jean. Can you just invite our audiences to watch Full Circle on HBO Max?
Sure. Watch Full Circle on HBO Max. And then I should say something. Should I say Que Bunda? I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
No, that's not something nice.
Brazil, watch.
You just said
like a dirty word.
Yeah, you said what an ass.
Yeah. Brazil, watch Full Circle on HBO Max. Que bunda. You got to use that, right? It's HBO. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah, it's HBO. It's a free place. Thank you so much, Jim. What a pleasure.
Thanks so much.
I'm trying to do the right thing. And you should be too.
Are all these things connected?
Everything is connected.